nominations for Mayor Bass. We're here this morning at Van Nuys Elementary School in San Fernando Valley to highlight urgent action the city has taken around school safety. We will first hear from Van Nuys Elementary School Principal Sonia Mendoza. Thank you so much for hosting us here. We'll then hear from Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, followed by City Council President Paul Krikorian. We're also joined by LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho, who will provide remarks in both English and Spanish, who will then introduce LAUSD Board Member Scott Schmerlson, who represents this district, to speak as well. Following that, we'll hear from LA Department of Transportation General Manager who will speak. Following that will be Ruben Hernandez, who is a parent here at Van Nuys Elementary School, who will provide closing remarks. After that, we'll take questions. And I also, before I pass it off, want to highlight that standing with us here are crossing guards who keep our students safe every day, and want to thank them for their service. And with that, I'll pass it off to Principal Mendoza.
Good morning. On behalf of Van Nuys Elementary Community School, I would like to welcome Mayor Bass, our council member as well, our superintendent as well. Thank you so much, and the press, for being here. Safety is at most importance to our community, and we are very thankful for their partnership and the measures that they have put in place to create our safety zone around our schools. Specifically here at Van Nuys, we appreciate the speed bumps that have been added, the clear, wide crosswalks, the extra signage about the speed limits, the crossing guards on our main streets, as well as the post around the corners. All of these in communication, in combination with the communication of walking and traffic safety, are helping to ensure the safety of our students. So we thank them for their continued support, not only here in our community, but throughout the city. So thank you again to our city, to our district, and to our board. Thank you very much. And now we have the honor of having Mayor Bass with us.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Good morning, everyone. It is great to be here at Van Nuys Elementary School in the San Fernando Valley alongside our city and LAUSD partners, especially our superintendent, Carvalho, who has just done wonderful work in all of our schools. Also, our Department of Transportation General Manager, and I want to thank, of course, our principal and the crossing guards for the work they do every day to keep our children safe. Safety is a priority for all of us, and safety takes many different forms. And today we're announcing the urgent action that the city has taken in collaboration with the school district to keep students, parents, family, and school staff safe. Hundreds of new safety provisions, like the ones you will see here, were installed ahead of the new school year, which started last week. These installations can help slow drivers and encourage safer turns at intersections so that drivers can pay close attention as they're entering school areas where our young people will be walking. So here's what we've done. City departments have completed installations of quick-build street improvements at more than 180 intersections. We've installed more than 250 speed bumps near more than 90 schools, and I think all of us remember the tragedy that took place last year at the intersection of one of our schools in another area. We've established school slow zones, which reduced 15 miles per hour speed limits on more than 450 street segments adjoining 190 schools. We've also expedited the hiring of crossing guards and are deploying more than 500 crossing guards this school year, continuing the widest deployment in over a decade. We've also signed an agreement with the school district to provide safe passage at the schools to help make sure that all young people can walk and travel safely to and from school and are free from violence on their way to their schools. This is all part of a comprehensive public safety strategy to make all of Los Angeles safer. Very happy to be here today. Also want to mention that over the summer, the city deployed resources at more than 40 parks for the Summer Night Lights program for more than 100,000 Angelenos across 44 sites to increase youth and family programming in our public spaces in order to help reduce violence. All of us must work together to keep our children and our neighborhoods safe, and this is just one example of urgent action that the city has taken. I'm proud to be here with the leader of our City Council President Paul Krikorian, and in your district.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you for joining us here in Council District 2, and more importantly, thank you for your extraordinary leadership in saving lives through the measures that you're announcing today. Mayor Bass, when you and I served together in the State Assembly, we worked on a lot of measures to try to bring more traffic safety statewide, and I was proud to carry a number of bills to do that. But it wasn't until I joined the City Council when I really realized on a very personal level how important that was. Shortly after I was elected to the Council, a young girl was killed in an intersection walking to her elementary school, and her sister was paralyzed by somebody who was hurtling through that intersection as they crossed in a crosswalk. And as tragic as that was, and as difficult as that was for me as a new council member to respond to that and to try to grieve with that family and their neighbors and their those girls' classmates, I soon realized that wasn't going to be a rare occurrence. And since then, I've had to grieve with too many families whose children were hurt or even killed by traffic violence. And last year, just to put a point on this, last year in this city, we had more people dying from traffic violence than we did from murders. Now, everyone talks about, trying to bring the crime rate down, as they should. But folks, we had more families grieving over the death of members of their families from traffic violence than we did from murders. So if that doesn't raise the red alarms for us about the urgency of this issue, then nothing will. We're doing our part. A year ago, I introduced a motion to create more funding for the Speed Hump program. Mayor Bass has run with that and expanded on it by including so many more things. You see these quick fix things, the bollards, the bump outs, the new thermoplastic on the crosswalks to make them more visible. All of those are things that reduce the risk of fatal injuries and serious injuries and will save lives. And so I want to thank Mayor Bass for her leadership in doing that. But that's only part of the equation, because there are 3 E's to traffic safety. One of them is engineering, but the others are education and enforcement. And this is one area where the people who are watching at home can make an immediate and direct difference in making our streets safer and our schools safer. Just slow down. Pay attention, get off your phones, pay attention, especially around schools and senior centers like the one across the street. You can do your part, and you must do your part. Engineering alone will not do it. And the other thing is enforcement. And I look forward to working closely with Mayor Bass to ensure, as she continues to build up our Los Angeles Police Department, to ensure that we have more traffic enforcement here in the San Fernando Valley as well, because that too will save lives. So again, Mayor Bass, we're grateful to you for your leadership, and we look forward to taking the next steps forward in keeping our streets safer for the children of Los Angeles. And now, speaking of keeping the children of Los Angeles safe and of benefiting the children of Los Angeles, it's a great honor to once again welcome our great friend and partner in education here in Los Angeles, the Superintendent of the Los Angeles Unified School District, Alberto Carvalho.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Madam Mayor, thank you so much for being such a terrific partner alongside the great city of Los Angeles. I mean, these are true Olympians. I mean, they wave the flag in the right place, they bring the flag back, and today they are in the community celebrating this precious partnership that elevates the dignity and the protection of kids and their families around our schools. What's being announced today here is truly without precedent. You're talking about in advance of the very first day of school, which we celebrated last week on the 12th. We were able, in partnership with the city, with city resources, this commitment, this political leadership that prioritized the deployment of resources and individuals to protect families and kids, recognizing that many of them have lost their lives or were maimed as a result of vehicular accidents that are preventable. The measures taken are historic. Let's detail them for just a quick second. Number one, the largest number of deployment of crossing guards in over 10 years. Over 500 individuals like the ones standing with us today have been deployed to intersections around schools. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Mr. President. Secondly, street improvements around 450 intersections benefiting in excess of 40 schools. The deployment of 250 speed humps benefiting 92 schools. And then the one element actually is low cost but works so well through awareness and visibility. The painting, the signage, to create school zones that reduce the speed of vehicles around them. These slow school zones are essential. In all, close to 340 schools benefited from these investments. So there is no greater priority for us than the protection, the safety of our children and their families. We can provide great education through our remarkable teachers and support staff, but ensuring that our kids get to school is critically important. The last point that I think is a key one, guaranteeing safe passage, the protection of students. Beyond the vehicular threats, there are other threats in our communities, and rallying community-based organizations, city resources alongside our own ensure that our kids can get to that one place that offers protection in a safe and secure manner. So, Madam Mayor, Mr. President, on behalf of our school board, on behalf of our 540,000 students and 75,000 employees, we express our gratitude for your investment, your dedication, and your leadership. Unas palabras en español. Me siento muy honrado y muy agradecido de estar aquí esta mañana acompañado por nuestra alcaldesa y el presidente Krikorian y muchos líderes comunitarios, incluyendo el vicepresidente de la Junta Escolar, para celebrar este enlace tan importante. Una inversión multimillonaria por parte de la ciudad de Los Ángeles para garantizar que nuestra máxima prioridad de protección y de seguridad para nuestros niños y sus familias en nuestras calles es realizada. Los mejoramientos en las calles alrededor de nuestros planteles escolares representan una dedicación de nuestra ciudad que va a mejorar, va a proteger a nuestros niños y a sus familias. Nosotros no lo podemos hacer solos. Es necesario un enlace con entidades de la ciudad de Los Ángeles y el liderazgo demostrado por ellos significa que estamos unidos para proteger a nuestra comunidad, a nuestros niños y a nuestras familias. And now it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce a leader, the vice president of our school board, someone who represents the area that we're in right now, a teacher.
Council President Krikorian, Superintendent Carvalho, Principal Mendoza, and Board Member Schmelson for helping to shine a light on the importance of traffic safety, particularly as it pertains to young children making their way to and from school. Every day in Los Angeles, thousands of children walk, bike, or ride to school. The journey is filled with excitement, and for many, this marks the first steps in their journey to self-sufficiency and self-reliance. That's why at LEDOT, we want to ensure that they can travel safely and with confidence. According to the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health, traffic collisions are the leading cause of death for children between the ages of 4 and 14. This is both tragic and simply unacceptable. We also see that 37% of fatal and severe injury collisions occur near schools, even though these areas make up only 22% of our city streets. That is why I am so grateful that Mayor Bass and the Los Angeles City Council have pushed to expand our citywide safety efforts with an emphasis on investing in safety of streets around and near schools. These improvements mark the most significant school traffic safety program ever pursued in Los Angeles, serving thousands of students each and every day. Each of these treatments help prevent the kind of unsafe driving behavior that puts children at risk. Locations were prioritized based on where speeding is to be a known issue and where children most frequently use walking as a mode to get to school. I also want to emphasize the key role that our over 500 crossing guards serve to ensure that kids get to school safely and ready to learn. In the last year alone, LEDOT brought on 163 new crossing guards, making this year's deployment the largest ever. Crossing guards protect and guide young children on their way to school and are there to ensure that drivers are aware of children and that each student makes it to class safely. The reality, however, is that while each of these measures makes a difference, it is drivers who have the most power to prevent traffic collisions. Anytime we get behind the wheel of a car, we have a responsibility to the safety of the people around us. Streets are shared spaces, and while treatments promote safe driving behavior, safe driving should be the default at all times on every single street. Your vigilance and patience while out on the road can make all the difference in ensuring that our children arrive to school safely and return home to their families without harm. Now, a few words in Spanish. Gracias a la alcaldesa Bass y al presidente del Consejo, Paul Krikorian, y al superintendente Carvalho, por resaltar la importancia de la seguridad vial, especialmente cerca de las escuelas donde los niños pequeños corren riesgo. Cada día en Los Ángeles, miles de niños caminan, van en bicicleta o viajan a la escuela. Su trayecto está lleno de emoción y esperanza, y para muchos representa los primeros pasos hacia la autosuficiencia. Es por eso que el Departamento de Transporte de la Ciudad de Los Ángeles, como responsables de las vías, debemos hacer todo posible para asegurar que puedan viajar de manera segura y con confianza. Según el Departamento de Salud Pública del Condado de Los Ángeles, las colisiones de tráfico son la principal causa de muerte para los niños entre 4 y 14 años. Eso es tanto trágico como inaceptable. También vemos que el 37% de las colisiones fatales y con heridas graves ocurren cerca de las escuelas, a pesar de que estas áreas representan solamente 22% de nuestra ciudad. Por eso estoy muy agradecida que la alcaldesa Bass y el Consejo Municipal hayan avanzado la expansión de nuestros esfuerzos de seguridad en toda la ciudad, pero con un enfoque especial alrededor de las escuelas. También quiero destacar el papel importante que desempeñan nuestros más de 500 guardias de cruce en proteger a los niños más vulnerables y en garantizar que los niños lleguen a la escuela de manera segura y listos para aprender. Ellos protegen y guían a los niños en su camino a la escuela y son quienes aseguran que los conductores sean conscientes de la presencia de los niños y de que cada estudiante llegue a clase en manera sana. Aunque cada una de estas medidas marca la diferencia, son los conductores quienes tienen el mayor poder para prevenir las colisiones de tráfico. Cada vez que nos ponemos al volante de un vehículo, tenemos la responsabilidad de velar por la seguridad de las personas a nuestro alrededor. Las calles son espacios compartidos y aunque estas mejoras provienen un comportamiento de conducción segura, esto debería ser la norma en todo momento y en todas las calles. Su atención y paciencia pueden marcar toda la diferencia para garantizar que nuestros niños lleguen a la escuela de manera segura y regresen a casa con sus familias sin sufrir daños. Now I'm happy to introduce Mr. Ruben Hernandez.
Thank you all for coming out this morning and showing support to this beautiful community. It's an honor to be here. The updates and upgrades that have been placed around the school are a great improvement to not only the school, but to the community. This community needs all the help we can get, and we are very appreciative for all the hard work that has been done and will be done moving forward. I appreciate it. Thank you. I am Ruben Hernandez, a parent of a fourth grade student here. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Can you say something in Spanish?
Muchas gracias por todo lo que han hecho por la ciudad. Esta comunidad sí necesita esta ayuda y muchas gracias por todo lo que hicieron. Thank you for everything you guys have done, honestly. Yo soy un papá de un fourth grader que viene aquí a Van Nuys Elementary. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much.